Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, the 13th of August, 2020. I'm Roy Potter. Welcome as you come in. Lighting's not too good this morning. I'm on the road again, as I explained I was going to be, for a couple of reasons. I said it was vacation, but it's really so that I could take a course I'm interested in. So, at any rate, I'm going to be out and about for probably a couple of weeks to a month. Anyway, off and on. I went to a little small lake here yesterday when I arrived, and a very nice little area. Um, it's almost like being at the beach. As a matter of fact, they have a small beach there and a little place you can rent boats and paddle boards and things like that. It was probably close to 100 degrees, right around in there. Sorry about the red. When I wear red, it really messes the camera up. It makes everything tinted red. Plus the lights in here. The sun's coming up, but it's not quite there yet. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at some of my course materials, and I notice all these people that are outside. It's 100 degrees, right? I, I bet you guess. I bet you can't guess what they were all wearing. Almost every last one of them were wearing it. The masks. The old, young, even young kids. This idea of masking young kids should be considered child abuse, but of course the governments are even pushing that. It's all training, it's all Pavlovian. Thongs, I wish, Edelson. No, I wish, but no, it wasn't anything like that. There were a few bathing suits, but well, I didn't go there for the eye candy. I went there to just relax in the sun and listen to the breeze and look at some materials, and then everybody. I mean, there were a few exceptions, but by and large, they were all wearing it. So, what's my point? Well, the title of this video is Where Are All the Biohazard Bins? If this thing, you go into a bathroom anymore, and there are places where you can throw away your your syringes for the diabetics, that kind of thing. Disposable areas for all sorts of things, paper towels, diapers, you name it. But in this supposed worldwide pandemic with a disease that's so deadly, people are just tossing these things on the ground and just regular trash bins if they even bother to do that. You see these things laying all over the place everywhere. People drop them as they're driving down the road. They go out the window. Where are the biohazard bins? Another evidence that this is a fraud. A total and complete fraud. Getting ready for the revolution. Another thing to keep people upset, out of the way, run down the economy, and take us down. So I wanted to bring that up this morning. I think that's another indication that this is all hokum. And our governors and mayors, really, they need to be ashamed of themselves for falling for this, and that includes the president. But more than that, they deserve our disgust. They deserve to be recalled or thrown out of office. But a lot of these people really do love it. I see a lot of people, but especially women. If you're not wearing a mask, boy, they give you the stare down, They give you the stare down like they know something you don't. And it's just the other way around. It's really pathetic what Americans have become. They're not abiding by this in Sweden, as most of you know, and they've been doing fine there. And much of Europe has been rioting, but really not just demonstrating, but rioting against this government crackdown. And the police are stupid enough to enforce the government edicts. And they are here too, and we all know about it, and I'm not going to go into that. Who owns this? Trump. I don't care. As I said before, I'm getting really tired of listening to, and I don't anymore, to the normal conservatives, everybody from Dan Bongino to Sean Hannity to everybody. You know, I could name them all. You know, with all that's going on there and all the things that are about ready to happen, they're still talking about Durham doing his thing and Lindsey Graham doing his thing, all this stuff on Russiagate and Spygate and all that, which is definitely something that needs to be taken care of. But it seems like they, like me in a lot of ways, are broken records and they're not talking about the real danger that's lurking right around the corner. I did listen to a little bit of Alex Jones' broadcast yesterday, and I got to tell you, he's right on. Pelosi's not talking about the problems with China. As a matter of fact, they're embracing China, which means that they're going to full-blown Maoist revolution here in the United States, and it's going to start more so than it already has, and I've already talked about that. If you don't know what I don't want to steal Alex's thunder, but he's right on. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go listen to his broadcast from yesterday. Just the first half hour will do it, so you don't have to pay attention to all those ads and commercials. But they're openly talking about secession. They're openly talking about having a separate inauguration for the Democrats. The whole thing is entered into that phase where it's unavoidable. So as I've been saying all along, you better get ready. So why am I taking a course if the world's falling apart? I need a diversion. As I've often heard many people say, you look too long into the abyss and you become it. So I'm changing course a little bit, and I'm not giving up on this, but I figured I needed to occupy myself with something a little more constructive and useful. So I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, thongs are a great diversion too, Edelson. That's true, but we'll see how all of that turns out. Like I said, my associations in that regard have not been very pleasing by and large. It's been yeah, they're wearing masks. If a woman's wearing a mask, that's already a turn off. I ain't gonna even talk to her. I didn't mind before. I mean, I always comment women when they look nice. I mean, they may not be, Raquel Welch, if you all know who she is. They all may not be, Miss America or Miss Universe, but every woman can do something to make herself look nice. And if they do, I comment them on it. Of course, I know that's on the outside, and all the Christians go, "Ooh, the flesh, the flesh." Yeah, if you can look at a mountain and say how beautiful it is, and not look at a beautiful woman and say how beautiful she is, there's something wrong with you. You're a hypocrite. Okay, so we've talked about Pelosi. We've talked about the fact that there are no biohazard bins anywhere. And also, I'll bring up also that I saw, and of course we all know this, and I pointed this out, the CDC wrote a thing not long ago about the death rate, and they were saying it was like something like what they were saying is 0.2%. And then they said that so 2%, that was just an example. They couldn't even do the math. Do you know what 2%, 0.2% is? That's not what it was, but that's what they said, 0.2%. And I pointed this out in a video at the time. 0.2%, you have to add another decimal point, so it's 0.02. But that wasn't even right. Get this. It's come out now that the death rate, the admitted death rate by health officials for those under 70 is 0.04%, which when you take out the percentage and change the decimal, it's 0.004, which is less than the common flu. We've shut down the entire nation and most of the world over this, and Bill Gates and Fauci and the pharmaceutical companies are running the world, and nobody does anything about it. All of the governors, all of the mayors, not all of them, many of them, the majority of them, the prime ministers like Trudeau and President Trump. Yes, President Trump. He's the one that put this task force together that pushed all this to begin with, and he hasn't got the guts to admit he made a mistake, but he's pushing the As I've said before, the whole vaccination thing. So the evil are in the process of destroying the evil. The wicked are on the wicked, and that's just the way it is. So you got to get yourselves ready, as I've said before, and as many have said, and I'm not going to belabor the point, but it's definitely there. Now, I also wanted to bring up that there's so many bad things going on. It's hard to find good things, but children really are special. And I remember seeing things a long time ago that said, every time you see a child, that's proof that God is still has a little trust in the world and love his creation. Every time a child is born, and reminded me of a scripture. Actually, there are many of them, but there's one that Jesus said, and he was talking. He said, "Behold your little ones." So he didn't say sacrifice your little ones. He didn't say they're nasty. He didn't call them a virus or a plague or any of those things, which is proof that God isn't Lucifer, isn't Satan. It's very simple proof. That alone shows that the Luciferians have their stuff all messed up. Yeah, Trump wants every man, woman, child to have their own ventilator. That's the other thing. He pushed his ventilator thing and brags about us being the great. Yeah, I've already said all that. I know. Yeah, where do we go? Trump is losing all the patriots. Where do we go? Well, that was the plan. You see, with Kamala Harris in there now, that's almost I mean, if you think about it, that's almost an insurance policy that Trump's going to get in, because nobody likes Kamala Harris. Nobody. I mean, even Mark Pantano said that yesterday. I mean, she was, as you all know, she was calling Biden a racist during the presidential campaign. Remember that? Remember that? The Democratic convention. And other things. Now, if Biden and Kamala Harris do win, Kamala Harris is going to be president, and I think a lot of people know that. I'm not saying it can't happen, but what it's doing is it's pushing people back towards Trump, the poor victim president, the poor victim that all of this horrible stuff has happened to and keeps happening. He has no power to accomplish anything because of all the stops that are put in front of him, and yet he can sign executive orders because he's the most powerful man in the world. The catch-22, the dichotomy, the normalcy bias, the deception here is so fantastic. It's unbelievable to me. So at any rate, like I said, no matter which way this election goes, we're in for a war. It's going to be a war. There's no doubt about it. And, the politicians should be held accountable for this. And like I said the other day, those gallows in Lebanon look pretty dang good. We need to go grab them all, try them, and hang every last jack one of them. Clean it out. Of course, where's the military going to be on this thing? Well, as Alex explained, and I've been saying for a long time, the general officers, the flag officers, are not behind the United States and the Constitution. They're with the New World Order. The predominance of them, and the military has been shaped to stand back and take that side, not the side we're on. That's just the way it is. I forgot my cup, so I mean to use the disposables here. I might go out and buy I like the black ones because when I do these, then they don't mess up the color too much, like my shirt does. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, why Big D Anon? Yeah, where are all the judges to stop the lockdowns? Well, it's like I said back in, what was it, March, when everybody's saying, "Oh, it's just going to be 2 weeks," and I said no. Do you remember when I said that? I said they've got us by the short hairs now. They're not going to let us go. They're going forward with this. They just moved their plans up 10 to 20 years. Yep. So you better get ready, okay? That's all I've got for you this morning. I've got to go do these other things and get ready. I haven't been to a school in a long, long time. And just studying the little bit that I have, it's outside of my normal areas of interest. I'm trying to get an interest in this area. I'm not going to tell you what it is. No, it's it's really simple. It's tech. It's technology, and so there's a lot of math and the memorization of new terms and all that. So I figured it was a good thing to know. It's going to be useful, and even as the country falls apart, it'll be useful. Not to make money. That's not the reason why I'm doing it. It's it's to be able to navigate through this hell that they're going to put us through, and we've got to stand up and resist it in every way that we can. All right. Oh yeah. The FBI is certainly controlling Antifa and BLM. Of course they are. That's what they do. And most of the whites, they're in all of them. Yeah. Bring an apple for the teacher. It's a guy. No thanks. Yeah, we've talked about all this before, Edelson. We have to get together with good, like-minded people. But even they're hesitant. It's like I said, I worked real hard to try to get people to do things. You know, prior soldiers, prior cops, and they do a lot of talk, but they don't want to stick their necks out. So what? Robert David Steele said JFK Jr. and Trump in Dallas in October. What? Is he pushing JFK Jr. stuff? Oh wow. Oh well. I think he also said there were guys on the moon, children as slaves on not the moon on Mars, something. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, everybody. Hey, I'm gonna go. Hope you have a great day. Remember to keep your eyes on the horizon, your ears to the ground. Situational awareness on high. Things are not going to get better from here on out. They'll have periods where things will, you know, there'll be lulls here and there, but things are not going to go well. All right, things are not going to go well. They, the Bolshevik Revolution, basically the Maoist revolution in America, is well underway, and nobody has the guts to call it out, much less to do anything about it. Barr was dancing around it the other day saying we're seeing Bolshevik type activity in the United States. Man, it sure took him a long time to get there. But at this point, unless they do something, which I mean, Durham hasn't even done anything because Barr won't let him. I think you know that, right? All right. Hey, yeah, I'm gonna go. You all have a great day. All right, out here.